So, you got my money?
Welcome to 10K Bets Live, your Minnesota-based sports betting show. And joined with me today, I'm Marlo as usual. We have with us the two studs, the two other people that carry this show. The rest of the clowns don't do anything. That's no offense to them, but I hope they're listening and I hope they watch me sewer them. We got Cam with us back. Long absence. Cam, how the hell you been, buddy?
I've been good. I was here 2 weeks ago, right? So just a 1 week absence. But yeah, no, I'm feeling good. Had my first goal last night. I'm on a high.
Hockey guy officially locked in. First goal. Let's dive into that real quick. First goal ever play in beer league. Yeah. Unbelievable. Congratulations. Big moment. How'd you do it? I guess how'd the goal happen? What was the celly afterwards? That's the most important thing. If you went straight like NHL 94 to your stick over your head with your two hands on it like this, Mighty Duck style, I swear to God, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
It'd be hilarious. No, I was so I play right wing. I was on the right side of the net, and the left winger came and shot, just went off the goalie's pad, and it was right in front of me, and I just scooped it up and got it in. And then I kind of blacked out, dude. I was like, I never thought I'd fucking score. So I turned around. I did like throw my arms up, and then I just went like this as I was skating down the ice, and I see Jack down the ice just freaking out.
So like, just to reenact here real quick. Right here, you shoot it, you go.
Pretty much.
Just kept skating?
Yeah. Nothing too cocky. Nothing. I mean, it was, I didn't want to be too cocky, you know?
Hey, I get that. And it was funny because we talked, I said, if it's Mighty Ducks, tell them I slap the shit out of you. Cleaning up the garbage in front of the net is literally like one of the first Mighty Duck like training practice like bits they do. So fucking Mickey Mouse Club bullshit.
I honestly, like, I don't know if I'll get canceled for saying this, but I did feel like I don't know how to put this, like the special guy on the team or like the athletically challenged guy on the team, because when I scored, the place fucking blew up.
Just absolute eruption.
Yeah.
There's got to be no better feeling, but also no worse feeling that everybody, including the other team, wanted you to have a goal. Like, he did it. They're just super happy.
I played very well. I skated into the zone with the puck, which is a big milestone for me. I even was skating up the ice. Defenseman came after me. I hit it off the board, skated around him, and kept going. I was on the fucking.
Ooh,
I was feeling good.
Straight Luis Mendoza shit, because I know you don't know how to stop. You're just bored, and just bam, banging bodies in front of the net and pot home goals. You'll love to see it, Cam. That is true hockey guy fashion. Congratulations in all seriousness. That's fucking awesome. So. Guy, we got to talk to you about another big win here, Sammy Stats. Recently on the Intimate podcast, obviously, our largest podcast that we have at 10,000 takes. Sammy the Stats is on there giving out dime-ass picks. So, Sammy, break it down for us. The Brooksy W potted you home some cash, and a few others who actually listened to you as well, too. Break it down.
Yeah, it was awesome. What a week by Brooks Koepka. Just awesome. Came through. My other guys made the cut, but just didn't really do shit. Tough course, tough conditions. It was just one of those weeks. They just couldn't get anything going. They make a couple birdies and then throw a couple bogeys right back. And it is what it is. I mean, obviously I'm not complaining hitting a 21-1 outright. I'll trade a couple of those losers for an outright every week if I could get one. Great. It was just an awesome tournament. Brooks Koepka is back. It's great for golf. It's kind of now like the whole PGA Tour versus Live, because, you know, Brooks is a Live guy. And so it kind of stirs up the pot per se. But yeah, no, it was an awesome weekend. I'm proud of Brooks. He brought it home and made me a good amount of coin. I was able to buy a nice little headset and everything else. So yeah, it was great.
I feel like such a dumbass. When we were here recording It's a Bit last week and you were talking about Brooks, I kind of scoffed at it. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay.
It's funny because
I'm broke and you're not.
It wouldn't really be our show, right, Cam, if I didn't piggyback off of his success and take a little bit of credit for it, because we had ourselves the Masters draft, right? And who else had faith in Brooks Koepka Koepka, your boy, taking him in the third round of 3 rounds. Besides the point, had faith in him. And we ended up riding that one to a second place finishing, splitting the cash with you, Cammer, as well. Too. So, I mean, like I said, credit to Sammy, but I was the first. Like, not
you were the first. So I'll give you credit.
You didn't have as much faith though because you didn't do the PGA Championship with us. You left the fucking group chat. We did it again.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
I left the group chat
there.
Yeah, you left the group chat
after
Masters after we said we're doing it for every major.
You know what I think it is? I think so. If I did leave, it was an accident. First off, and if it was a reasoning, I'm gonna give two explanations here. I was probably stoned. Let's start there. Secondly, I probably couldn't stand listening to Danksy talk anymore than I'm already in one chat with Danksy. I can't afford to be in 2 chats with Danksy. Drives me absolutely bonkers. So if anything, that was it. I was probably stoned and I was like, oh fuck, Danks gone. And so I don't know. That's probably it. Even then, to be entirely honest with you, I probably wouldn't have done it anyways. I'm that guy who loves being invited to things just to say no. Because I'm such a busy. Because what I say is I gotta go with my kids, and I seem like a great father to you guys. And so it's kind of like a flex thing that I like to do.
And then you just don't hang out with your kid.
Yeah, I just get stoned and then like leave group chats. That's like all I do. That's it. Try and learn all the Pokemon's names and shit that I just never learned. I'm like, I got nothing else better to do.
Well, we had the same luck in the Masters, so if you would, it's probably a good thing you didn't play because I finished last. I was 23 over.
Yes.
Horrible.
We got to talk about this real quick. Blackjack is back.
I couldn't agree more, Mr. Blackjack.
And we love blackjack. This is actually one of the first talking points we're going to bring up. We're going to talk about NHL hockey because it's definitely it's funny how much of a transition we've made. I got to stop here and say we said we were done betting on hockey because hockey's the dumbest thing in the world to bet on, right? We were like, it's over. We're done with it. Sam, I don't know if you said it. I said it. Renzi said it. We're just like, we're toast. Over with it. And Florida Panthers just draw me back in. Now, I don't know if you remember, but like I said, Blackjack was the one who initially turned us on to it. It was like Florida's ride Florida, and he was right, which is amazing. And we're listening to him. I got Florida at plus 750. I don't know what you got them at, Sammy, but they have now officially dropped down after taking 2 on the road. They have now dropped down to a plus 160, I think is the last I saw it at.
Yeah.
Buddy. Let's go.
Awesome.
Florida is looking like a way.
Yeah.
And the worst part about this, Sammy, want your opinion, and then Cam, I want your opinion as well, too, as the hockey guy. The worst part about this, Vegas is still the favorite of all of the 4 teams. They have the lowest ones, which I think I saw them at plus 130. And I'm like, whew, man, especially with how dominant the East was this year. It's crazy to think that. I mean, I guess I get the logic in a sense, but I don't know, man. Florida is looking so damn good. But Sammy,
Yeah, I agree. It is a little crazy to see that. Vegas has been there. You know, they've been to a couple conference finals. They've had like per se the experience over Florida, so I kind of get that. But Florida's not a team you want to play against. They just simply aren't. They are not a team. And especially you give the upper hand to Florida's goaltender, Bobrovsky, who's just, I mean, he's incredible. Like this guy is, and he has, I believe, a couple Vezinas, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's just really good. I got him at 9-1, I think. On the Stanley Cup future. Damn. I love it. I think they easily win. I mean, maybe not easily, but I like win in 6, like win 4-2 kind of thing. The other thing about Florida is their forecheck is incredible. They're on you as soon as you get that puck. They give you no room to try to maneuver, try to get a breakout going. The amount of turnovers they force, especially in that back zone, and that just leads to goals. It's crazy. I mean, they're a complete hockey team. They pretty much showed it the first round, beating Boston down 3-1 and coming back and winning, in 7 games. And then, pretty much every series since, they've just looked like the better hockey team. They have the better goaltending. They got a pretty good coach. All the chips are falling for Florida right now. And I certainly wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah, I don't know though. I'd be careful. I think the narrative all year was that the East is the best. The East is going to win the cup no matter what. It's going to be the Bruins. It's going to be the Rangers. It'll be maybe the Devils. You already see what happened in the East. Like Florida was 8th seed, and yeah, I know they're hot, but it would just make perfect sense if the West won. And
that's true.
And I think Vegas might they might be destined to win finally. Well, I say finally, like they just became a team, but at the same time, they've been heavily favored before. Also, if I'm blackjack, I'm being careful. Like blackjack Vegas, it's in your name, man. That winning bet right there. Like you can't bet against.
I don't know, dude. Blackjack's been money this all like in the entirety of the show that we've done this. Anytime he's popped in, money. He's been just he's got to start giving us more picks besides Florida. He keeps hammering home Florida. Give us more, man. We want some money. Everyone wants to win some money as well too. But one of the things, so Tom here, of course, thanks for tuning in the show, buddy. We appreciate that. Being a Wild fan, I can't bring myself to root for Vegas or Dallas. I get that. The weirdest thing about this, and kind of stemming off that as well too, I'm not one who's really tied to that. Like I can root for basically anybody or have like I don't really play into it. Like if Nashville's in there and I think Nashville's a better team, I'm gonna cheer for Nashville. Or if I have money, or basically whoever I have money on. So it's gonna be Florida from on forward. But the crazy thing about this is even though Vegas has the best odds to win the Stanley Cup, when you break it down between the 4 teams available, Florida has 2 of the top. I think it's they're number 1 and number 2 for Conn Smythe odds, so MVP odds, which is Tkachuk and Bobrovsky right now. And so despite it's where like it gets so goofy is that like despite the fact that like it's Vegas is the favorites, you have 2, which Conn Smythe usually goes to the team that wins the Stanley Cup. It very rarely ever goes to the team that loses it. That you have it flipped like that. It's very, very, very strange to me, but I don't know. I don't have any money on it, like the Conn Smythe aspect of it, because my money's tied up in Florida right now. But I don't. Even then, I still think Matthew Tkachuk is going to be the one to do it. But you're right, Cam. Great point. This is time when Vegas can just pop up and just dominate. But there's also that counter argument as well too. Is like you're seeing an ace seed make it to the Cup potentially here. That just also proves how fucking hard it was to play in the East for any team. So I don't know. It goes both ways.
I have a question on like the outside looking in because I followed the Wild, but this is the first year I like got into the NHL as a whole. Why do people hate Tkachuk?
I can take this. He is my favorite style of player. As you know, Cam, I'm a piece of shit. Well, the reason why Matthew Tkachuk is my favorite player in the NHL, and it sucks because it sounds like I'm hopping on a bandwagon. I've always said Matty Tkachuk has been my favorite player. I've always been tied to Rats. Like Darcy Tucker, loved him. I wore number 16 in high school because Darcy Tucker was a piece of shit, and I fucking love Darcy Tucker. But people don't like him because they think he does cheap shit, which by today's NHL standards toes that red line, the red line where it's like what's clean, what's not clean. Imagine like Marchand, like he has like the Marchand style capabilities, but he's doing regular hockey stuff and not tongue fucking somebody's earbox. And so people don't like him for that reason. And on top of that, too, he's a cocky-ass young kid, and he should be. He should be swinging his dick left and right all over the arena. Like, if that's what he wants to do, he should be allowed to do that. Because why? Because he puts up points, and he'll sock you in the mouth if you say anything otherwise. He can do everything, which is why he's the best in the NHL. I love him.
Yeah, I love him. That dude's he's a beast.
Yeah. Brady,
I'd pretty much
2.0, 1.5, I guess we'll say, because I don't think he's as good as Matty. I don't like Brady as much, but Matty Tkachuk is an absolute gem.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna kind of piggyback off that, Marlo. I mean, I think people don't like him just because he's cocky. He's got this swagger to him on the ice. He believes that he is better than you, and he'll show you that. But honestly, what he's doing right now, let him do whatever the hell he wants to do because he's backing it up with his play. Yeah. If he's not, he's always contributing to his team in some way. Rarely he's not scoring points. And if he's not doing that, then like you said, he's right in your face. He's making his presence known on the ice. And I mean, shit, it's working for him. It's working for Florida. But yeah, I'd probably feed into more of that's kind of why he gets hated on, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he backs it up. No problem.
It's going to sound dumb, but imagine if you had like Cal Clutterbuck in his prime, but could score like 50, 60, 70 a year. He's just that fucking good.
I like Matt a lot. I don't like Brady. But there's literally only one reason. He has the most punchable face I've ever seen.
I think it's because he looks like he's 12, but you can hit because you can't legally hit a 12-year-old. But how fun would it be to smoke a 12-year-old?
Maybe I should relate to him because I kind of look like I'm 12 too. So
there you go.
Maybe I should
But then why is everybody cheering you at beer league when you score goals?
Because I'm special.
Anyways, but I mean, action right now we can talk about it as well too. Matty Chuck plus 350. That's the latest odds that I've seen for the Conn Smythe. That's a pretty number to touch on personally. Like I don't think there's anybody else I could put money on. Bobrovsky being the second one is a great pick for that, and he has higher odds. So if anything, I'd maybe sprinkle both of them. But then again, that scares me because then I'm once again investing all my money in Florida and nothing but the Panthers. So I don't know.
I like Bobrovsky. I don't know what that line is, but if it's like 5-1 or 6-1 odds, it's going to be tough now, especially if he has like 1 or 2 shutouts in that Stanley Cup round. I mean, of course, like you said, obviously you have to win the Stanley Cup. But I mean, he's just playing far too good to not touch that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And speaking of playing well, we can dive into the Minnesota Twins. Hockey's fun and all and whatnot, but let's talk about the Twins. Struggle bus right now. We talked about, and sure enough, they have to do it to us, right? We just had an episode like 2 episodes ago where we called it, do we need to worry about the Twins? No, that's basically what the episode was. We had all of our faith put inside of, and the bad thing about this is I don't think I can necessarily blame anybody or nobody's like the scapegoat in this scenario. Like, I don't know where to put because like pitching has been great. Lopez last game, I think he allowed 4 runs, but he also struck out 9 batters. Like it's like, so it's not really his fault. Like I don't know where to fall. And Cam, you're a big baseball guy. I kind of want to get your opinion as well too. Who do you blame in this scenario? It's very strange, and I don't know where to get mad at, or if I even am justified enough to get mad at.
That's why it's hard because I can't really figure out who to get mad at either. Because I think it's just shitty luck, honestly. Like our pitching's been fine. Our bullpen, like as much as people like to shit on them, like they've actually been pretty good, except the past couple games. Pagan fucked us, Jax fucked us once, but that'll happen. Like we were still putting up some good offense in LA, and we just got the short end of the stick. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. We did get a scare with Buxton, but he's back in the lineup tonight. Thank God. So I think we're fine. We just gotta keep it up, start winning a little bit more, and then we're gonna be big buyers at the deadline. And that should propel us to.
Yeah, we're gonna Shohei Ohtani emergence. Am I right?
All Minnesota sports are scary break. Yeah, I think I would say if there was just one guy, and I'm with you guys too. I mean, I don't think you can pinpoint a player. I was looking at Griffin Jax's record. I think he's like 2-6 maybe. And again, you know, he gets thrown into some tough spots and hasn't, you know, hasn't contributed. But yeah, I mean, if you were to give one player out, maybe I would say Griffin Jax. But again, I mean, it's early in the season too. I don't think you can throw a ton of blame on him. You know, it is what it is, and we've said it too. All teams go through the rut per se. You know, hopefully you don't have too many of them. But yeah, I mean, it's baseball. It's a 162 game season. You can't expect your team to be flawless the entire year. Like you see even now, like the Rays are losing some games. Like it's, you know, it's baseball. It happens.
The Rays are actually in trouble. Their pitching staff is depleted now. But it's just shitty luck. Like we're down 4-0 right now. We let up 3 hits. Bailey Over let up 4 runs in the first inning. He's been lights out since. Like it's just like we can't let that happen, obviously. But it's just one bad inning has been killing us. Like the last game in LA, like we were competing until the end, and then we let up 5 runs in an inning. Like you can't do that. But at least it's better than being bad all the time.
Well, it's funny. I just looked up a list for going back to the Shohei Ohtani stuff because it's too much fun to talk about. Going back to a list back at the end of March as well too. Twins weren't even on the list for that, and now we have news dropping that we're like top 3 of potential landing spots for Shohei Ohtani. Like that, this is one. I guess I don't care what you have to say, Cam. I want it to happen so badly. It's one of those things where everyone thinks that, and then like they'll be pissed in the moment. and or like they're pissed up until like the news drops, and they're like, yeah, okay, cool.
I'll tell you right now, I got in one of the most frustrating, like stupid arguments of my life about the Shohei Ohtani shit. I was talking to Jake.
Of course, yep. Could have known.
And I told him, I'm like, I'm telling you right now, like Kirilloff, Brooksy, who's our top prospect, and a couple other prospects will get it done. Because Ohtani's not going back to the Angels. He's going to have to get paid after this year. The Angels would be more than happy to take Kirilloff and a top prospect, plus some other guys. And Jake's like, I just don't know if I would do that if I were the Twins. I'm like, what? Like, you understand that Babe Ruth 2.0, right?
Like, the guy's unbelievable.
And he's like, I guarantee you that the Angels would want Correa for that trade. I'm like, that's not how that works at all. That's not how baseball trades work.
What would be the benefit to that? Like, they would have there's no reason behind that.
No,
I don't know.
They're going to rebuild. I don't know if he was.
I'm worried that they would ask for Royce Lewis, and I can't wait to like if you just give him one healthy year. I mean, I absolutely want him to be in a Twins uniform, and I mean, even the times that he has played, he's produced. It's just the damn ACL injuries, and so I mean, obviously, it'd be awesome to get Ohtani. Dream come true. It would be so cool, but I would hate to give up Royce Lewis.
It's crazy to say that you have untouchables when you're talking about Ohtani. I do have 4 of them, though. It would be Joe Ryan, Buxton, Correa, and Royce Lewis. Like, I don't want to get rid of any of them, especially because you never know. Like, if it doesn't work out, Ohtani's just a rental. Like, he's a free agent, so it's not guaranteed that we sign him.
Yeah, this could be a dumb question, but where would he stand? Like, so after you pitch him, do you just DH him like a few games? And then but that's the issue is like we've had, like, where do you put people? Bucks has been on the DH. We've had
the thing
quite
is,
a few.
Like, for Ohtani, you just make it work. Like you play.
Yeah,
Buck.
You'd absolutely make it work.
Yeah. You play Buck in the field, and Ohtani too. Like he can play right field if he really if he wants to. Obviously, you risk injury there, but you would make it work.
And then you just put Gallo at DH or whatever, and you swap them out. Or
but at the same time, like you'd probably want Gallo in the field because he's a Gold Glove outfielder.
Yeah, so that's where
or even put him at first base or something. You would definitely just find whatever way you can to fit everybody in. And there's going to be one guy that obviously gets left out and gets the short end of the straw there. But I mean, that's baseball. It's a business. You know, you're trying to get the best 9.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced Kirilloff would have to be part of the trade, especially because he's been playing very well since he came back and he's finally healthy. But I'm all for it, like if they can actually make it happen. But I'm not hopeful, or I'm not like optimistic. Like it's not. It's very, very small chance that happens.
Okay.
But also another thing I forgot to mention. Another reason why we're like struggling right now is because of how fucking like I think this gets overlooked. How bad Jose Miranda was. Like he kind of fucked us. Like that's a bat that we were relying on that is just gone. And now Jorge Polanco's hurt again. Kepler's back on the IL. Like we can't catch a break there.
No,
those are 3 players that you'd typically depend on to get some runs or at least some hits. Without those 3 guys, it makes it challenging to score runs. I mean, that is what it is. It's baseball.
Yeah. And like, I'm done with the Willie Castro experiment. Everyone's all over him because he hit that no doubter in LA, but I'm like, I can't watch this guy play. We need something else. I can't. I can't.
All right. So as it stands right now, question for you boys. We're looking at Sonny Gray, right? Cy Young. He said he's up there, potential odds right now. As it breaks down right now, he is Joe Ryan is ahead of him at plus 1,400 is the lowest or the highest that I'm seeing it at. You can get Sonny Gray at plus 2,000. You touched any of that? I mean, in front of him, you have Shohei, you have Garrett Cole, you have some absolute sickos just lying in front of that. I don't think I waste my money, even though it'd be like we could talk about just doing a sprinkle on it. I don't even think I bother touching that bad boy.
I do like a $10 bet just to have some grease on the Twins, just to be rooting for them even more, but not optimistic about it either. Also, though, what?
Go ahead. I would say I'd rather put my money someplace else along the Twins than that spot, though.
I would too. And one thing, though, you got to think about is if Ohtani does get traded to an NL team, like that boosts your odds that much more. Because Ohtani, like, I'm pretty convinced he's gone. I think he'd be stupid to stay there. What is he already like 27, 28? And that team has the 2 best players in baseball, and you can never make the playoffs. Like, that's a major problem.
That's a huge problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
I do think Joe Ryan has a better chance in the end of Gray getting it because he's younger. He can stay healthier throughout the whole year. I would think he won't wear down as much, but both of them would be fun to see.
Yeah. All I can say, boys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sammy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with Cam. I think it's probably worth $10 at those odds the way they're playing, but anything more than $10, I just probably wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if Ohtani does go to the NL, then likely it's going to be Garrett Cole. I mean, especially if he just keeps pitching the way he's pitching. Yeah, but yeah, for sure, I'd throw $10 on it the way they're pitching, and who knows? I mean, if they keep this up, and who knows where the dice will fall. But yeah, I think it's probably worth that. I mean, they're throwing pretty good, and their stats back it up. So I think it's a good wager to make. I mean, but again, anything more than $10, I probably would just save your money.
100%.
Yeah. Another reason why I do it is because, like you mentioned, if Ohtani gets traded to the NL, then it's probably going to be Garrett Cole, but Garrett Cole could very well get hurt. Or he could just stop. Like, he actually does have that potential. He's a spider tech merchant. I actually don't really believe in him, but obviously the fucking Yankees are cheating. Look at what Germán did.
Oh my God. How many times can this happen?
It's fucking, and then who they play? They played the Reds, I think, and Clark Schmidt, I'm pretty sure that's who it was, got told to go wash his hands. Like, why is that an option?
Yeah, that shouldn't be an option. Yeah.
Go. Yeah. The Yankees are cheaters.
Like, how many fucking pitchers do you think are just eating waffles pregame to the point where like, well, we should allow them to wash their hands? Like, what if they're all yeah, they're just in the back just crushing like middle school waffle sticks, like in the syrup and everything. Just like, these are professional athletes. Like, you can wash your fucking hands, clown.
They're just eating McGriddles in between innings.
Yeah, it's just like they're just like, oh, come on, we got to allow them to wash their hands now. Like, they got to get their griddle in. McDonald's is
I think Aaron Boone has to do a better job at listen, guys. Like, I know that you've been, using whatever product that you to help you get grip or whatever, but you gotta like stop. You gotta cut it out because I mean this can't like keep happening for them. Like it's
Aaron Boone is
it's something that you just as a manager like. Your job obviously is, protect your players and, make sure nobody's doing any shady shit. He's got to figure out, he's got to, whether it's tough love or whatever, but he's got to make a stand for that because if it keeps happening, it's like, Aaron Boone, you are a joke.
I already think he is. I think he's so overrated. Like I like Joe Torre. I didn't really like Girardi, but Aaron Boone is so overrated because they're just talented because they have so many players. I think like you put like a Joe Madden in there or like I don't know, like a Ron Washington or a Dusty Baker on that team. Like I think they win a World Series and they just haven't because I don't think they have a good manager. He's fucking awful.
All I can say, boys, is I'm ready to start talking football. I miss it so much. It's coming up slowly but surely, and I could not be more excited. Which reminds me, we are already in the process of prepping our Minnesota Vikings designs that we will be launching here eventually. On top of that, too, we got a couple sneaky giveaways coming to you guys from Northern Lids, one of our partners as well, too. So make sure you check them out. If you want to throw money on the Ryan or on the Joe Ryan odds to win the Cy Young, you want to look at some other props, you want to look at betting in general in Minnesota, but you don't have a legal way to do it, Better Edge. Use code 10K, $20 for free. You can hammer one of the props, or better yet, you could hammer one of Sammy Stats picks right now because Sammy Stats is money, and I know for a fact he's got some action for us right now. Hit us, Sammy. What do you got?
Wow, that was great, Marlo. Very nice transition.
Man. I should get stoned more.
So I haven't looked too much into the golf tournament. I do have two guys that I do like. They're playing Colonial this week, which is in Texas. Par 70 course, 7,200 yards. It's pretty standard in distance as far as just like the typical PGA Tour I guess you could say yardage. But yeah, I mean, there's only two par fives, which obviously means the scoring might be a little lower. You got to attack the pins. more par fours, par threes, but like I said, only 2 par fives. I'm going with Max Homa, top 20. I believe he's like plus 120 on the top 20 there. Playing pretty well. I think he bounces back after last week. He didn't have a very good PGA Championship. Also going to take him outright, plus 2,200 there. And then another guy I like is Sam Burns, another really good player too. So I like that as well.
What about Block?
He is plus 2,200.
What about Block?
Oh, Michael Block?
Yeah.
He just laughs. He just moves his mic out of the way.
What a story that is. Yeah, no, I mean, I would maybe sprinkle him like top 40 if you can get those odds. I mean, I just think he had an incredible week, but I don't think like he's that good of a golfer. Like,
Well,
I mean, yeah, we'll see what the sports books do on him. And again, all credit to him. He had an awesome week. He made a hole-in-one in front of Rory McIlroy. I mean, have a week. But yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't take him to win, and I probably would not take him top 10. I mean, I don't know what his value. You know, the bet I do like there is if you can get him Block to make the cut. That's got to be at a decent price. But again, I mean, personally, probably just a 1 week wonder for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like if he keeps performing, sure. But yeah. So anyway, Max Homa, Sam Burns, 2 guys I really like. And I think you can kind of get them at like between 2,000 and 2,500 on the outright there. I wouldn't touch Scheffler. I know Scheffler's obviously been playing great, but they're only giving him like plus 400. And as a guy that's looking for value, I won't touch that low. I mean, maybe if it was like 800 or 900, I'd consider it. And who knows, he'll probably be up there and shit at plus 400. He probably will win the tournament, but I'm looking for guys that I know I've seen them win. I know they can win. And so, yeah, and I like where they're at 22-1, 25-1. Sign me up.
Yeah, so Mike Block right now. Yeah, Mike Block right now to make the cut plus 100.
Oh, I love it. Okay, perfect. I knew it'd be somewhat reasonable. Yeah, take that. I mean, shit, if he is buzzing, I'll give him that. I would like to see him like, you know, a few more tournaments, see how he's, you know, if he continues this trend of good golf. But yeah, I like him to make the cut plus 100. Sure.
Oh, and then no is minus 138 right now. So that people are heavily saying no. So heavily.
Yeah.
Saying no.
And that doesn't surprise me either.
Me either.
Yeah, a lot there. But anyways, we want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of 10K Bets Live. Where can you guys find us? You can check us out across all social medias. Head over to 10,000 Takes Twitter account, YouTube account, Facebook account. That's where you're likely watching it here. Make sure you check out the shop in the link below right now as well, too. Tons of Minnesota Twins designs in there. Minnesota Viking stuff dropping soon-ish. We're filing out some of the designs as well, too. Dropping some women's apparel as well too while we're at it, and a super dope hat courtesy of our partners over at Northern Lids. So make sure you check them out as well today too. I am your host Marlo. We want to say that we love you, we thank you, and win some money.